China and US vow to force North Korea to irreversible ditch nuclear weapons. China yesterday pledged support for US efforts to force the irreversible dismantling of North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un's entire nuclear arsenal. The groundbreaking announcement from Beijing follows international outrage over the death of American student Otto Warmbier and a string of high-level meetings between top diplomats and defense chiefs. Amid rising tensions between Washington and Pyongyang, top brass at the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency warned last month that Mr. Jong-un's scientists are on an inevitable path to developing an intercontinental nuclear-armed rocket. Global hostility towards the isolated state intensified sharply last week with the death of 22-year-old Mr. Warmbier just 6 days after he was flown home to Cincinnati, Ohio, after 18 months in jail in North Korea. The University of Virginia student was held in January last year while touring North Korea and was sentenced to 15 years hard labor after being convicted of stealing a propaganda poster from his hotel room. Authorities claimed he slipped into a coma as a result of suffering a severe neurological injury from an unknown cause 2 months into his sentence. Mr. Jong-un's officials have denied he was tortured and on Friday, the day after his funeral, claimed North Korea was the biggest victim of the tragedy and was insulted by an international smear campaign. Despite the mystery over the cause of his death, Mr. Warmbier's parents Fred and Cindy refused to allow a post-mortem examination but condemned their son's awful, torturous mistreatment which they said ensured there was no other outcome possible. Anger has grown in the U.S. over his death. He was one of 16 U.S. citizens held by North Korea since 1996, including 3 still there. Young Pioneer Tours, which organized his trip, said it would stop taking Americans to the country after his death. The talks between China and the U.S. resulted in what Chinese state media called a consensus document. Mr. Yang later had a private White House meeting with President Donald Trump, who is due to hold talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping at next month's G20 summit in Hamburg. The leaders first met in April and the Xinhua agency called their new accord an upgrade in dialogue mechanisms between China and the U.S. It added the consensus document calls for both countries to fully abide by UN Security Council resolutions and push for further dialogue and negotiation.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe World News Channel. Goodbye and see you again.